These include Australia. Hi, today we are going to discuss about CPTPP.
What is CPTPP? CPTPP also stands for the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is also known as a Free Trade Agreement between 11 countries.
Countries include Australia, Brunei, Canada, Chile, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Singapore, and Vietnam.
How did CPTPP started? In 2005, a trade agreement between 4 Pacific Rim countries, which also known as TPSEP or P4, was set up. In 2008, additional 8 countries decided to join the agreement. Thus, TPP, an expansion of TPSEP, was established. In 2017, the United States withdrew its signature from the TPP and it cannot be taken into effect. In 2018, the remaining 11 countries decided to revive TPP and reshape it as CPTPP. Currently, 2019, the trade has proven its benefits and continues to attract new members.
In this agreement, 11 ratifying member states will provide access 500 million people with a combined GDP worth $10 trillion. It removes tariff on an estimated 95% if the goods are traded between CPTPP countries.
Here are other interesting facts. TPP was the centerpiece of US strategic pivot to Asia, and it was set to become the world's largest free trade deal. Do you know why US left TPP? President Donald Trump saw the deal as likely to accelerate US decline in manufacturing, lower wages, and increased inequality. At that time, the combined economics of 11 countries represented 13.4% of the global domestic product, which is around $13.5 trillion. This makes CPTPP the third largest trade-free area in the world by GDP. Currently, CPTPP allows its participated countries to tap into a bigger trade market. For instance, Australian exporters now have new sugar access into Japanese, Canadian, and Mexican markets. The CPTPP's broad tariff cuts impact on the relative competitiveness of exporters in and out of the agreement. For example, US exporters will now be disadvantaged in CPTPP zone relative in particular to the competitors in Canada, Japan, and Australia. Thirdly, CPTPP includes high-standard chapters covering custom and trade facilitation, standards and technical barriers to trade, investment, intellectual property, e-commerce, and many more. One of the challenges faced is the US and China trade war. Members of the CPTPP may be caught in the middle. For example, Vietnam's economy is highly dependent on exports, a quarter of which goes to China. The demand may split, especially the goods re-exported to the United States. CPTPP countries are eligible to use the agreement to ease some potential negative economic impacts and aid supply chain integration in Asia as insurance against further fallout. Other challenges, such as the US exit, with the benefit of the trade decreases for some participated countries such as Vietnam. Participated countries fail to maximize the use of opportunities provided by CPTPP despite implicating free trade agreements. Local firms remain limited in exploiting all benefits from FTAs. CPTPP has plans for future expansion. Additional countries have shown traits of interest in joining the agreement in the future. Countries such as China, Thailand, South Korea, and more. US is considering in rejoining the family, and the current 11 members are discussing on the conditions to offer.
Are you sick of flipping pages to learn anatomy? Are you bored of uninspiring atlases and flashcards?
CPTPP was just signed on back in September of last year. Growing opposition to this bloc, though. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to present the CPTPP to the cabinet recently, and we made an announcement that we affirm our commitment to what we have done. We have ratified CPTPP. There are obviously issues that were raised by various groups, and we have actually addressed that, and a lot of actions have been taken by the ministry, by the government to mitigate some of the concerns. So we are very much committed to participate in CPTPP. We at the cabinet, we reaffirmed this 2 weeks ago, and the Prime Minister himself has signed all the necessary administrative agreements to ensure that exports and imports can continue under the what we have ratified in November.
So, Tunku, you're saying there will not be a re-evaluation of Malaysia's taking part in CPTPP?
Correct, Martin. The new government is committed to continue with CPTPP. A lot of concerns we presented to the cabinet have been addressed, and therefore we will continue with our participation in CPTPP.
Minister, just allied to that, can you give us a sense of where FDI flows into Malaysia are going to be heading this year, and what longer-term capital is doing with regard to that? Because Malaysia has really been a big beneficiary of supply chain redistribution, especially regions like Penang and Malaysia. What's on the horizon for FDI?
Yeah, you're very right, Sri. The Penang has really benefited from the industry there, which is the E&E industry. We've seen tremendous growth. In fact, E&E industry contributes 6% to our GDP. And one of the focus for the ministry is to ensure that we continue to build resilience and continue to have larger reinvestment itself from these key sectors. So we're looking at quality investments. There are 5 sectors that we believe will continue to spur growth for Malaysia, and focusing on FDI coming in, mainly in pharmaceuticals, E&E, chemical, digital economy, and also as in aerospace. Yeah. So, but what's important as well, Sri, when I came in here, one of the key issues raised to me by various chambers and industries is to ensure that Malaysia continue to be competitive. And one of the areas that we must improve is on ease of doing business. So that's another focus area for me and the ministry.
Now back to our top story now. Anwar Ibrahim's ascension to Malaysia's top job. We've been standing by to hear from the new Prime Minister. And in the meantime, let's get some analysis on what's been a momentous day for Malaysian politics. Dr. Johan Saravanamutu, he joins us live now from Kuala Lumpur for more. He is Adjunct Senior Fellow at the Malaysia Studies Program at RSIS. Johan, it's an incredible comeback for Anwar Ibrahim. You know, he first lined up for this job back in the 1990s, before suddenly being sacked. He was jailed. The King and the Council of Rulers, they've decided Anwar is the man who can unite Malaysia. Is he?
Well, I think he stands a very good chance of doing it if he gets the on board, that national unity government that the Yang di-Pertuan Agong or the King wanted. And it looks like this is happening. From what I can gather from the latest news, although these are not official.
Of course women should be paid the same as men for doing the same job. And I'd like to say now that I'm getting...
Make the leap. Bring what you do online with GoDaddy. Whatever your thing is,
Hello, it's me, Camelia, and this is Key News. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim held Putrajaya's monthly assembly today, where he told civil servants the nation cannot succeed with plenty of leakages. He also touched on the importance of adopting change. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim told civil servants today that he will not tolerate the culture of contentment in the government. Anwar said this during his speech at the monthly assembly at the Prime Minister's department in Putrajaya today. The Tambun MP stressed the need to transform the civil service and government to bring about change to the country.
Sistem yang bergerak sekian puluhan tahun, tapi harus ada